Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Ikram and you are watching my YouTube channel English with Ikram. In my last video, I discussed preposition of place, a preposition of time. I hope that you have watched that video. I told you in that video that prepositions are very much important, though a bit confusing, but from examination point of view, prepositions are very important. Though a bit tricky, confusing, but as I have discussed certain rules, certain tricks, तो इस एतबार से आप किसी भी एग्ज़ाम में अपीयर होते हैं 5वीं 6वीं क्लास से लेकर, ये मैं इसलिए उर्दू में बात कर रहा हूँ कि बच्चे भी देख रहे हैं, बच्चों के लिए भी ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि हमें सिर्फ ये रटवाई जाती हैं, सिखाई नहीं जाते हैं, रूल्स नहीं बताए जाते हैं, कोई ट्रिक्स नहीं बताई जाती हैं. देयर आर सर्टेन रूल्स, यू हैव टू लर्न दोज रूल्स. अगर आप रूल्स को फॉलो करेंगे देन preposition will be quite easy for you. In last video, I discussed preposition of time in on and at. How do we use preposition of time? And today I will discuss preposition of place. अगर आप न्यू सब्सक्राइबर हैं या आपने वो वीडियो नहीं देखी, आप बीइंग टीचर्स हैं, बीइंग पेरेंट्स अपने बच्चों को दिखाएं, और उस वीडियो का लिंक मैं इस वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन में दे दूंगा. वो वीडियो लाजमी देखें पहले, उसके बाद इस वीडियो पे आएँ. preposition of place in today's video is going to be very much interesting because I will discuss preposition of place in detail with certain examples, certain rules. तो आज की वीडियो let's get started. Preposition of place, again the same prepositions, at, on and in. The same preposition which are used is preposition of time. The same preposition are also used as preposition of place. The first one is at. Let's see how do we use at. What are the uses of the preposition of place at? The first use of preposition of place is we use at for specific points or specific places. Let's see how. For example, specific point, window, at the window. Let's take some example. The bird is sitting at the window. The cat is sitting at the window. We can also say at the corner. Specific points. At the corner. The wall is at the corner. Wall, guldan. Normally in American English it's vase. In British English it's vase. You know that my focus has always been on pronunciation. The wall is lying at the corner, at that corner, right? Then at the start, at the end. At the start of the lecture, at the end of the lecture, there are certain specific points. Then at end of the street, this is a specific point. At the end of the street, I met that person at the end of the street. So this is the first use of preposition of place at. It is used for certain specific points, at the corner, at the top, at the bottom, right? And at the start, at the end. So this is first use of preposition of place. It is used for specific points or specific places. Okay. Number 2. The second use of preposition of place is events. We use this preposition of place for certain events. For example, at the meeting. The principal is at the meeting, right? At the conference. At the meeting, at the conference, at musical show, at musical concert, at the party. So these are certain events. At party, at musical show, at the wedding ceremony. These are certain events. Okay. Then the third use of preposition of place is buildings where these events take place. These are the events, musical shows, meetings, conferences, and where the buildings where these events take place, we also use preposition at with those buildings. For example, at the library. The meeting is at the library, at the conference hall, at the police station. So for such sort of buildings, we also use preposition at. Okay. Then the next one is use number 4. The next use of it is for small towns in the city. Inside a city, there are certain small towns. For example, he lives at Nogazi in Mansehra. In a big city, there are certain small places, small villages, small stations. For those places, for those villages, for those small towns, we use at. He lives at Hassa in Balakot. Small places in big cities. We use the preposition at for small towns, small villages, small places inside a city. Then use number 5 is a stop in a journey. When you are on the way to a certain place, there are certain stops on the way to a big city. So we use the preposition at for those stops. The bus stopped at Haripur. There is a stop for Niazi, for example, or any other bus service or trains. The train stopped at Havelian. Yes, so these are certain stops, bus stops or railway stops. For those stops we use normally. For big cities we don't use at. See, this is the only place where for the big cities we use the preposition at when we are talking about stops, right? Then the use number 6 is we use at for public places. Inside a big city there are many public places, public spots, public places. We use the preposition at. For example, at shop, at stationery, at hotel, at school. He is waiting for me at the bus stop. He is working at shop. Yes, there are different public places at Lariera, at bus station, at airport, at hotel, at school. So inside a city there are many different public places. We use at for those public places. And then the use number 7 is for exact address. It's very interesting. When we are talking about exact address, we use the preposition at. For example, there is a big road, a main road. If you are talking about an address of some person and you are giving complete address. For example, he lives at Shell Pump, Shara Resham, Mansehra. This is complete address. When you talk about complete address, you use the preposition at. And when the address is not complete, you are just talking about a main road, then you use the preposition on. He is living on Shara Resham. But when you are giving complete address, he is living at Shelpam, Shara Resham, Mansehra. This is complete address. For complete address, we use the preposition at. Otherwise, when you are just talking about a street or a road, you use the preposition on. He lives on Main Street. There isn't any complete address. You don't know the exact address. So there are 7 different uses of the preposition of place at. I repeat, at is used for specific points, specific places. At is used for events, different events. At is used for the buildings where these events take place. And number 4, at is used for small towns, small villages inside a city. And then at is used for a stop during a journey. And then at is used for public places inside a city. And then at is used for exact address. So these are 7 different uses of preposition of place at. Okay, now let's discuss the next preposition of place, which is on. The first use of the preposition of place on is, it is used for the surface. When we talk about the thing which is lying on certain surface, on the table, the book is on the table, on the floor, on the roof. When there is direct connection, the thing is lying on certain surface, on the table, on the roof, right? The second very important use of this preposition of place is, we use on for some certain attachment. When something is attached to something else, there is no direct such sort of connection as we have in surface, but there is some sort of attachment in the sense that I am wearing watch on my wrist. There is the watch is not this sort of connection on the surface, but there is some sort of attachment. Attachment means something is attached to something else. We can also say that she is wearing a ring on her finger. There is some sort of attachment. There are many apples on the tree. Ring on her finger. Watch on her wrist. This is some sort of attachment. And then we use this, the third use of preposition of places, we use for rivers, roads, and coast. When something is near to rivers, he is living on river Indus. London city is on river Thames. It means that this is the city is next to the river. And then same is the case with roads. He lives on main road. He lives on Shara Reshim, as I have discussed in the use of preposition of place at. Then there are certain expressions where we use on. With these expressions, there are no rules. You have to just follow the preposition without any rule. For example, on TV. I watch the match on television, on radio. These are certain expressions where we don't have any rule. We have to just follow these expressions without any rule. On TV, on radio, on the right, on the left. These are certain expressions where we don't have any rule. And then one more thing that is very much interesting, when you are talking about a public transport. Public transport, we use, for public transport, we use the preposition on. I am on the bus. Where are you at the moment? I am on bus. But when we are talking about our own private car, we use the preposition in. I am sitting in my car. I am here in my car. Where are you? If you are talking on phone, I am in my car. But when you are talking about a public transport, then you use the preposition on. I am on bus. Right? Now the third preposition is in. Preposition of place is in. The first use of this preposition is, it is used for an enclosed place. Anything, any box, any three-dimensional place which is enclosed or having certain boundary. I am in the room. This is enclosed three-dimensional box. There are 2,000 rupees in my pocket. room, in hall, in pocket, and then any bigger place having certain boundary. Though that is not three-dimensional, but there is a certain boundary. In ground, he is playing in playground, in the garden, in the forest. Forest, garden, these are not three-dimensional places, but there is a certain boundary. Then we use in for big cities. He lives in Karachi, in Mansehra, in Abbottabad. These are big cities. Then again there are certain expressions where we use this preposition in. For example, in newspaper, in the sky, there are many stars in the sky. In is used for a chair which has certain arms. In armchair. If you are just talking about a stool or a chair having no arm, then we use the preposition on. He is sitting on the stool, on the chair. But a chair having arms, we use the preposition in. Then in a photograph. These are certain expressions where in is used without any rule. He is my father in the photograph, in the sky, in the armchair, in the newspaper, and in photograph. Then beside these three major preposition of place, there are certain preposition of places, for example, under and below. What is the difference between the use of under and below? These are preposition of place, under and below. We use under when there is some direct connection between two things. The cat is under the chair. You can see both the things. There is some direct connection between two things. We use under. I am sitting under the roof, under the ceiling. There are two fans under the ceilings. There are many things that you can see under the ceiling. So there is some direct connection. But when we use below, when there is no direct connection, you can't see both the things. For example, there is plenty of water below the surface of the earth. You can't see both the things apparently. And there are many people in Pakistan who are living below the poverty line. Where is the line? You can't see. Where the people living in that poverty line, you can't see. So we use the preposition below. Same is the case that your academic performance is below standard. Now again, you can't see both the things, the academic performance and the standard. We can't see both the things apparently. There is no direct connection. So these are certain preposition of places I have discussed in detail, and then in my next video I will discuss some more prepositions which are fixed with certain verbs. I hope that you have learned the preposition of time and preposition of places, and if you are new subscriber, watch the rest of the parts of speech and then come to this preposition of place and preposition of time. And now in my next video I will discuss all the prepositions which are fixed with certain verbs. That's all for today. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.